next is ECU and head coach Mike Houston. The Pirates are 3-2 overall, 0-1 in the American Athletic Conference. They were in action this past Saturday at Old Dominion, and ECU won the game 24-21. ECU is back at home on Thursday. They'll be hosting Temple at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium in Greenville, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Coach, thanks so much for joining us here in a short week. If we just get your thoughts on the win at ODU and what you expect to see as you're back at home Thursday against Temple.
Well, certainly it was great to get a win on the road this past weekend up in Norfolk, Virginia, against a very good Old Dominion football team. So it was, pretty tight battle back and forth. We had some opportunities to, maybe break it open a little bit, and but they did a good job of staying right there with us. But really pleased with how our kids competed. We got great production from all three phases, and in the second half, and particularly in the fourth quarter, I thought we showed just a lot of toughness and resiliency and some things that maybe we have not shown as much here in this early season. And we did what it took to win the ball game there at the end. So really pleased to get the win, pleased to be above 500, back-to-back wins. Certainly got some momentum going into this Thursday night game. Really excited to be at home, excited for our program to have the opportunity to play on national TV. Excited for East Carolina University to have the opportunity to have that focus, facing an extremely talented Temple football team. And, it's been a solid program for many, many years. One of the more consistent winning programs in the American Conference. Coach Carney's done a great job there in his first year with a veteran roster. And you look at them in all three phases and you see big, physical, older, very athletic football players. And they have a solid scheme, play very, very hard. It'll be a tremendous challenge for us this Thursday night, but we're excited for it.
Take questions now for Coach Mike Houston. Star 1 on your telephone keypad will put you in the queue. Then the operator will introduce you.
Our next question comes from Leo Haggerty of It's Sports Magazine. Please go ahead.
Good morning, Coach.
How you doing?
Doing fine, Coach. Thanks for asking. A couple of hypothetical questions today. You score with less than a minute to play, and you're down 1 point. What factors go into your deciding to go for a 2-point conversion in the win, or is it just a spur-of-the-moment gut decision?
No, I think that every game is different. Every situation is different. I think a lot of it depends on who you're playing. It depends on how you are playing. And I think it depends on where you're playing. And I think that most head coaches, they go with their feel for the ball game a lot of times. There are times that going into a game, I will tell our offensive coordinator if we get in this situation, then we're going to go for 2 to try to win it. I think you got to factor all things in, and each game is different.
Coach, last question. Thank you for your time. You're kicking a 19-yard
Sure.
field goal from one of the hash marks. Terrible angle for your kicker. Do you have a certain yardage marker where you want to?
You broke up halfway through that question. If you could repeat the last half of it.
Do you have a certain yardage marker where you want to take a delay of game to back up the ball and give your kicker a better angle at kicking a field goal from the hash mark?
I think that Jake is pretty consistent all over the field. We obviously work the sharp angles each week. We start out each day we're working field goal with, extreme hash, short yardage field goals, which that's where you're going to have that angle at. He's very consistent with that, so we feel pretty comfortable with him in all those situations.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this week.
Thanks.
Our next question comes from Jay Niemeyer of the Temple News. Please go ahead.
Hello, Coach. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So what challenges do you anticipate from Temple's offense based on what you've seen from them on film so far?
Well, you look at what they do, and certainly the personnel is very, very good. it does concern you just with how physical they've been with everybody, the way they've been able to run the football. They do a great job using those tight ends and getting in different formations. You try to outnumber you at the point of attack, and certainly they've got the skill out wide to where Russo's done a good job with distributing the football. To some of those guys, whether it be Blue or Mac or whomever, that can really do a great job of taking it and doing some damage with it after the catch. But they present a lot of problems in the run game with Gardner and Davis behind that big offensive line.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
And do we have other questions for Coach Mike Houston, please? Star 1 on your telephone keypad, if so. Coach, appreciate you giving it. Oh, I'm sorry, we do have one just chime in if we could. Just give us a few more minutes, Coach.
Our next question is from Sean Pastor of Owls Daily. Please.
Hi, Coach. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. So, I was just curious, right? Just statistically, last year, you guys had pretty much one of the worst few defenses in the country, and it's just, nowhere. You look at the numbers now; it's nowhere near that this year. Generally speaking, or specifically, what have you done to turn that significantly, seemingly pretty quick?
Obviously I was not here last year, so, I don't know what all factors, resulted in the stats being what they were at the end of the year. We have a philosophy on that side of the football that, served us pretty well for many, many years at multiple institutions. We try to get, everybody on the same page, and really get everybody buying into, playing together. And it's very cliche-ish. But doing your job and trusting your teammate to do their job, and then playing with extreme physicality, trying to play with a lot of passion, great job running to the football, and great team tackling. We're not where we want to be yet, but I do think we're better than we were when we got here.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Coach, thanks as always for your time this morning. We look forward to hearing from you next week.